And many a times this question has been asked of me too. What does it mean? Whichever favors of Allah, you twain shall deny. Shall I recite a portion and then demonstrate to you what I mean? Surah Rahman, 27? Chapter?
67.
Huh? 27 chapter. And Surah is numbered 55?
55.
Yes, here you are. Yes, I've got it. يُرْسَلُ عَلَيْكُمْ أَشْوَاظٌ مِّن نَارٍ وَنُحَاسٌ فَلَا تَنْتَصِرَانِ فَبِأَيِّ آلَاءِ رَبِّكُمَا تُكَذِّبَانِ. Which means, there shall be sent against you a flame of fire and molten copper, and you shall not be able to help yourselves. Which then of the favors of your Lord will ye twain deny? So what are the favors mentioned here? You see, the fact is that you must understand the significance of the word favor truly, and then you will begin to understand these verses. A favor of Allah to begin with is a favor. Then you come into contact with that favor. Then you misuse that favor, or reject it, or become sort of disrespectful to that favor. That favor no longer remains a favor in reality for you. As far as its total effect upon you is concerned, that effect is that of punishment, and you don't realize it. So, as far as Allah's side is concerned, looking from Allah's side, everything is a favor, because He is Rahman. This is why Surah Fatiha does not count any attribute of Allah which is punitive attribute. Ar-Rahman Ar-Rahim Malik Rabbul Alameen Rahman Ar-Rahim Malik Yawmiddin. All are positive attributes. There is no punitive attribute. Then suddenly the question of punishment is mentioned in the end part, and that also related to favors. So here the riddle is solved in fact. As far as Allah is concerned, He is so beneficent, so benign, so merciful, that whatever He does, whatever He creates, is for the benefit, for the good. And nothing is created by Him for evil. But when we make use of His favors, or let's say distort His favors to the purposes for which those favors were not shown, there the evil is created. And when the evil is created, then that evil is punished by God. And it is, the punishment in a manner of speaking is created by us ourselves. Because if we had bowed down to the favors of Allah as in the normal way, as He desires us to do, no evil would ever be created, no punishment would ever be created. So here too, in this Surah Rahman, whatever punishment is mentioned by way of negation of some favors of Allah. So the result is mentioned. The verse means that this is what you will come to by negating Allah's favors. So will you continue to do that? We are telling you very in clear terms, the ultimate result of your negation of Allah's favors, your misbehavior, misconduct towards them. So what I am worried about occasionally, and that worry sometimes makes me pray for the Ahmadis of future generations which are far, far removed from us. I shudder sometimes during the prayer of thinking our people of 1,000 years from now, being cruel to each other, fighting each other in the name of Ahmadiyya, taking sacred names of Hadhrat Massih-e-maud and their Sahaba, and attaching imaginary tales of piety to them, and fighting for those, and telling them you are insulting such a person, you are insulting that person, and you are insulting that person. So the favor of Allah, which is Ahmadiyya as Khilafah, when it is wedded with the other favor of Allah, not the institution of Khilafah, the seat of Khilafah, but Ahmadiyya as such is also a Khilafah. So when this is wedded with another favor of Allah, that is Mulukiyat, sovereignty, and people have gone really astray, and they have become decadent, then imagine what sort of curse would be brought upon this earth. It is so heinous it's beyond one's imagination. This is why Hazrat Rasulullah sallallahu alayhi wa sallam, when describing the most important event of the latter days, that is the advent of the Prophet Messiah and Mahdi, tells us that after they conquer the whole world for Islam, then ultimately a bad wind would begin to flow. And when that bad wind begins to flow, then everything would be corrupted. And after that, according to Huzur Akram sallallahu alaihi wasallam, no one comes to save them. That's the end of it. Then the mankind ends up into final and ultimate destruction. So Itmam-e-Nema would be consummated in the final victory of Islam through the hands of Ahmadis. In both senses, in the material terms as well as in the spiritual terms. There will be one religion, and the sovereignty would be exercised in the name of Islam, in the name of good values. According to Muhammad sallallahu alaihi wasallam, for a while this will continue to be so, and the whole world would be filled with breezes of peace and tranquility, and everything will be good about it. Then unfortunately, the wind would begin to change, and bad smelling wind, bad wind for health in some way or the other would begin to blow. When that happens, then the phenomena ripens further and further on into something which is irretrievable, according to the description in Hadith. So I was surprised when I read this tradition, particularly which I am referring to. I was awaiting another glad tidings that after a while, don't worry, Allah will send someone else and it will be all right. But you read that tradition and nothing happens. So then I pondered over this question, and then I realized that this had already been predicted in Surah Fatiha for us. The fact is that the most consummate favor of Allah, which stands at the summit of all favors, is Ahmad sallallahu alaihi wasallam. And he is considered that favor by the virtue of his message, not divorced from it.